But a few weeks down the line, this is the reality.
Yeah.
The Agric Ministry is the one banning exportation of food barely a month after they had held a press conference on a Holy Sunday afternoon to suggest to us that, well, we now are a net exporter of food. In fact, President Akufo-Addo was in Parliament on a State of the Nation address, and he said, we are a net exporter of food. He said there was no shortage of food and that we're a net exporter of food.
He had even increased the production of maize when he spoke.
And then what I found contradictory is that the Agric Minister then addressed the press conference and said that, look, we experienced drought and that we couldn't hit our targets and that by the close of the year we could hit our targets. Then the question I asked is, you promised planting for food and jobs. You promised one district, one dam.
One village, one dam, yes.
Okay, one village, one dam. The dams were supposed to help solve the problem of drought, which had bedeviled us for a very, very long time. And was supposed to ensure that we don't depend on a rain-based agriculture, that we could have all year through supply of food. So now, if you have told us that you have done the dams, you have supplied fertilizers, you have supplied improved seeds, and now you are telling us about shortage of food. You are telling us about your inability to meet the target. You are telling us about drought. Did you really put together, did you really construct the dams? Or were they the dams that Howard Kumsin was talking about, that if you give me X amount of money, these are the dams you get. And the dams eventually will get washed away. And I had a back and forth with Dennis here. Because some of the dams really have been washed away. Some even killed people. Some even killed people. So I say there are 4 things we cannot politicize in this country: education, agriculture,
health,
security, and health. The moment we start politicizing them, we are heading for the ditch. And that's what we've been doing. We like the sweet talks, we like the optics, we like quoting figures. I wasn't not the same. This same Agric Minister was quoting 2018 plantain figures for 2020 and telling us that a bunch of plantain was what, 5 cedis.
Yeah, exactly.
But the market will speak to you.
And what I was trying to understand was, okay, if you're saying that this man does not qualify for the subsidized fertilizer, you have extension officers, you have the officers in the...
So how did he get it?
So if he goes there and he doesn't qualify, why was he still being given, if he was given in the first place? Why was he still being given? So that means that whatever policy or measures that you put in place was not working. Because if he was able to get access to fertilizers when he's not supposed to, only God knows how many more people like him were also gaining access to the fertilizer. So then does it mean that for some reason that policy failed?
Supervision.
Exactly. It's a lot of questions that we're asking. And he's actually questioning the eligibility of, or you know, he's asking if the Peasant Farmers Association, what basis they have for predicting that there'll be a food shortage. Because his team has a close relation with the farmers. There are over 3 million farmers. How many of these farmers belong to the Peasant Farmers Association, the General Agric Workers Union, for them to even come out and say that there's going to be food shortage?
You know, when the Agric Minister earlier in January of 2017, I think it was in 2018, when the Agric Minister had said that 745,000 jobs had been created in the first year of planting for food and jobs. These same peasant farmers, Carriway and his team and General Agricultural Workers Union and all that, they came and said, look, that figure cannot be correct. Up until now, we have not been told the exact number of jobs that have been created. And if my math is terrible, but if we have 745,000 times 1, times 2, times 3, times 4, and this is year 5, we should have had millions of jobs in the agricultural sector. So people should not be complaining. But the Ghana Statistical Service held the Agric Census 2017-2018, and they told us that people are still doing cutlass and hoe farming, and that majority of the people, over 80% of people who hold farms in this country, are old people. That's a wake-up call, that if old people are the ones who are cultivating food for you to survive on, what happens if they die? What happens? Because eventually they will grow old and die. What happens? They are still using cutlass and hoe. What happens? They are not using mechanized agricultural systems. So what are you looking at? Is it just about the slogans or the real? Because you have to go to the market, and I have 250 Ghana cedis. I can't get a bag of maize to buy. All your English does not make sense to me. Your English does not, because I want to do my cocoa, I want to do my TZ, I want to be able to do my banku, my kenke, everything. So your English doesn't make sense.
Anyway.
What makes sense is that the bag of maize must be reduced. I should get rice, I should get tomatoes, I should get onion, garden eggs, the basics that I can use to prepare my favorite abenkwai or nkatinkwai or banku. So stop speaking the English. Stop speaking the English and get the food onto the market. Let's buy the food at an affordable rate. Already rent is killing young people.
We don't even have